Hello, boxing fans. We're back. It's your boy Dennis Reagan. That's Frank Nares outside the squared circle. Like I said, we're gonna continue coming more often, giving you the latest boxing news. And also, we actually got a treat coming up for you guys real soon. Some interviews, and we got a new segment we're gonna be doing just for you. We'll talk about it a little bit more at the end and let you know what it is, and if you got what you guys think of, you can tell us. So yeah, we're gonna break this off because we got two fights starting this week. One with Kell Brook and one with Mr. SOG, Andre Ward. Both of these guys had a little bit of a break off. It's going to be exciting to see how they look when they come back. Frank, you go ahead and kick it off. Tell me what you think about these fights.
Well, firstly, I'll go with Brook and Bizier. I think for as long as Brook has been out, it's an okay fight. It's a mandatory. I understand why everyone's mad at it. You know, it's not the fight that we wanted to see. There's so many other welterweights that Kell Brook can take on, and hopefully he will take on later this year that everyone wanted to see. And I understand their gripe,
How
but
many mandatories is he obligated to fight? I want to ask you that.
I'm at.
Remember, he fought JoJo Dan.
Mhm.
One fight, then fought another. Like, how many mandatories does he get before he can fight who he wants?
Yeah, see, that's the thing that I'm unclear on. That the topic came up quite a bit on a bunch of forums lately. It's funny that you asked that because the IBF seems to be the only sanctioning body that really stresses mandatories, which is not a bad thing. I like to see, the younger dudes getting shots, but the thing is with the IBF is that it seems like there's so much corruption within the rankings because Bizier doesn't deserve this shot. You know what I mean? There's the last shot that I remember in the IBF at 147 was when Kell Brook took on Sean Porter to take the belt. That was the fair shot. They had both earned the right to fight each other, and ever since then he's fighting these no-hopers. There's no real reason for the fight. So to answer your question, I really don't know. What I do hope, though, is that the IBF comes to their senses and realize that he can make a lot of money coming back to America and fighting Danny Garcia, fighting Keith Thurman, fighting maybe the winner of Keith Thurman and Porter, if it's a Porter rematch. I mean, there are plenty of fights to even like Robert Garcia at 147 is a better fight than the dudes that he's fighting. Money-wise, competition-wise, I mean, there's a lot more that Kell can do. But that said, I am excited for him to be back in the ring. I like Kell Brook. He's a good fighter. The fight that I do want to see eventually that I think every boxing fan ever wants to see is Brook and Amir Khan. That's the fight that needs to happen. So hopefully we'll still be on track with that, depending on how good or bad Khan looks against Canelo. But yeah, I'm excited to see Brook back. I want to see how he looks after the long layoff. Probably very good considering the competition. And then hopefully he gets in the ring with a better fighter towards the end of the year or mid-year. And then on to the second fight with Ward and Barrera. This fight is interesting from a multitude of directions. Firstly, Barrera isn't a slouch. Barrera is a solid fighter. Good amateur background, good Cuban style. But honestly, the only thing that how would I word it? The only worry that I have for Andre Ward is how well he can adapt to 175. Because skill for skill, he's still better than Barrera. You know what I mean? He's faster. He has better footwork. He sets up his punches better. He's more accurate. Defense, he probably is a little better, but Barrera is a solid defensive fighter as well. But yeah, that's what I'm really looking forward to, seeing how that weight translates. Whether he gets stronger at 175. He showed a little power at 168 when he fought. Who did he knock out at 168 that came down from 175?
Andre Ward?
Yeah, years ago when he was still fighting active. Why am I blank? Chad Dawson, when he knocked out Chad Dawson at 168. Yeah. So he knocked out Chad Dawson, showed flashes of power, and then took the breaks and things. So I mean, I'm just ready to see Andre back, man. I like Andre Ward a lot. I really, really do. His skill set is incredible, man. And then of course, he's on track to fight Kovalev at the end of the year, and he's been saying recently that he might not even fight a second time before he fights Kovalev. He might go right into the Kovalev fight, which is perfect for me if that gets made by the end of this year. That's the fight that's going to determine on my list who's the pound for pound number one, if we're being honest. So I mean, those are the things I'm looking forward to, man. How do you see these fights?
Well, first I'll start with the Kell Brook versus Kevin Bizier, is it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? As I said, like, if this was a mandatory, okay, but I'm just disappointed because since he's got that belt, I expected so many big things from him. I was like, he'd be a very tough, hard rugged, gritty Sean Porter. This
And
guy's
look
gonna
good
keep
doing
in
it.
the future. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He has the skills, he has a jab, he's tall, he has power. Then I seen he take on JoJo Dan. All right, you got to take that. Mandatory right afterwards. Then he fought Frankie Gavin, and it's like, okay, I said the thing because he had got cut in the leg from the riot. Then it was like, okay, let's step up because now all he talks to Rios, Marquez,
even
Khan,
Chavez. He had the fight signed with Chavez. You remember that? And then it got canceled.
Yeah, you know, matter of fact, he was. I could have sworn that this fight was gonna be with Diego Chavez. I could have sworn it was, like you said. And then out of nowhere, I don't know what happened. Then it's like, yeah, this guy. And the reason why, to me, like this fight, it's just for me to see how Kale looks after having a little bit of time off. Did he get rusty? Does he need to work on his mechanics? Is his timing off? Because this guy Kevin Bizier, he's already lost twice to JoJo Dan and who he stopped. So it's just like, I don't know what this. I'm not sure what this guy. I mean, look, you can't underestimate nobody. You know what I mean? Because obviously, it's this guy Kevin. This is his shot. Anybody's gonna come in and fight their hardest because if he wins this, he's the man. You know what I mean? So he's gonna come and fight his heart out. But I just don't see what he can do to win this fight. So I just want to kind of see how Kale looks, because this can give, like I said, this is going to give me a chance to judge how Kale will look against Amir Khan if that fight is happening this year. How he will look against Danny Garcia. How he will look against a Thurman. You know what I mean? How he would even look against a guy, up and comer. That maybe I'll say this. Maybe he could fight the winner of the Chris Algieri Earl Spence fight.
That wouldn't be a bad
fight.
Yeah.
For one of them afterwards. So this gives me a good opportunity to look at that and see how things match up, because it's been a while since we've seen him fight. Other than that, the fight to me is just like, I really want to see him fight Khan. I really do, really. But I think that fight just made him have it. But I kind of understand a little bit what Khan said. Like, man, you had that belt and you fought 3 back-to-back bumps.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just say, okay, you're ducking me, but who had you beat? If you were fighting better, and it's kind of crazy because the same thing that Khan said to him, I guess that's how Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather gets him.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
Try to fight people. Who in the world have you beat?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the little brother is telling the smaller brother what the big brother's on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, essentially, what this means is everybody start fighting each other.
Yeah. Yes.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
So, and that's how we're going to be able to have a good gauge of who's who, and the cream will rise to the top. But for the Ward fight, I'm really looking forward to this. I am, because we haven't seen Ward fight since he was on BET.
Yeah.
When he got it, didn't even want to make the 160. Like Paul Smith was like, look, I need this check. I'm coming to get this money. I'm not going to make weight. I'm not gonna try to outbox him. I'm gonna try to lay the hat maker. If it gets him, it gets him. If it don't, I got paid. That's what that fight looked like to me.
That was a good description.
Now we get to see who Ward gets to do with a young hungry guy who has a lot of power. Is coming. Now this is gonna be Ward. Now I don't think he got 17 fights. And his best notable win was against K.O. Marat, the guy that Bernard Hopkins almost stopped K.O. Marat.
Yeah.
I remember that fight. He probably could have stopped it in like the 10th, but the ref gave him another chance. So that's his most notable win. And this guy, like I said, this guy has a lot of power because he's almost knocked out everybody that he's fought. So this Sullivan guy has power. So it's going to be interesting to see how Ward is tested when he gets hit by a real strong 175-pounder. You know what I mean?
I agree.
It's not something just walks up. He's fighting a 175 guy that is really strong and can punch. So this can gauge him, like you said, if he can just go right into the Kung Fu Love fight, or if he need one more. This will tell it all. Because if he ever to go in there and get hit a few times, take it, and still come back and win, then you know what? Not saying that Sullivan punches the same as Kovarov, because that can't be determined unless you take punches from both of them.
Right.
But it does give you a gauge that, you know what, if I can take this, his punches may not be as much as his, so I probably can take those too.
Yeah.
So if World Company looks great against Sullivan, I say, why not? Why not do it, you know what I mean, summertime? Why not give us a July 4th fight? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be great.
Something like that. Give us the fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm expecting to see from this fight. And you know what? I haven't really got a chance to see a lot of Sullivan. So I want to get a chance to get his guy to see what it looks like. But for me, I really want to see what Ward could do at 175. But I heard Ward said he feels so much stronger at this weight.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel drained at all. And my thing is this: if Ward was feeling drained at 168 doing what he's doing, I cannot wait to see how he looks at 175.
Yeah, if that's a truthful statement, I'm in the same boat as you. But it seems like anytime anyone moves up or down, they're like, oh, I feel so much stronger. It's kind of like the obligatory thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like I moved from 130 to 135. I just feel so much stronger and fat. Like Amir Khan's saying it. He's like, I'm 3 times stronger. My chin's gotten better. And like, dude, calm down. Like, it's not, like. At the end of the day, I feel like you are who you are, and we all know Andre Ward is a great fighter. The points that me and you both really made were, can he take a punch from a 175 guy? And I think he can. He has a solid beard. He's been hurt a few times, but nothing crazy. And then just to see how he's going to handle being in. I mean, everything's different when you're fighting guys bigger than you, He was relatively the same size as everyone at 168. There's going to be a few guys at 175 that are a bit bigger. But going actually with Kell Brook, the rumor as of the last couple days is that he's very interested in fighting either Miguel Cotto or Gennady Golovkin next. Which...
Say that again, come again?
Miguel Cotto at 154 or Gennady Golovkin at 160. Now... Kell Brook. Now, mind you... The rumors for a while,
he's a big guy, but
yeah, the rumors for a while have been that he has trouble making. I mean, he's a big dude. He's probably he's probably a 154 pounder. He's a very solid guy, very thick guy.
You see how he looks in there against some of those guys?
Yeah, he made. I mean, me and you talked about this. He made Sean Porter look small, and Sean Porter has muscles coming out his muscles. You know what I mean? So. I mean, to make a former football player look small, it says a lot. I mean, Kell Brook is big, so I can see the move to 154, and even a Cotto fight, that interests me. I'm not mad at that. I think that'd be a hell of a fight. Because then, depending on how good or bad Kell Brook looks, that fight can be made at 154 probably easier than 147. That's just looking a little far ahead. But I was actually surprised that they brought up Gennady Golovkin's name. I'm surprised at actually a few things now, and it seems like it's a really big trend recently. Everyone wants fighters to jump from one weight class to another one and immediately fight the best. I've never been of that wavelength, of that train of thought. If
engage yourself.
Yeah, I exactly. That's exactly what I was just gonna say. If my best fighter at 140 is, let's like use this as an example. After Danny Garcia beat Lucas Matisse a few years ago, everyone was like, well, now he's got to go up and fight Floyd. Why? Why wouldn't he? So I wanted him to move up because I felt like he cleaned out 140. So let him move up and fight once or twice to gauge himself at 147. Why would you want to go right up and fight the best fighter in the world? And that's the same thing. That's the same thing here, where it seems like people just want, they want Canelo to go right up to 160 and fight Gennady. Even if he moved up to 160, I want to see him fight like Billy Joe Saunders or Danny Jacobs or someone else that isn't Gennady that's going to test him at 160 to see what he looks like. That's the same thing here. I don't want Kell Brook to go from 147 to 160 and fight Gennady Golovkin. I mean, he can make the weight. He comes in at like 168, 167 night of the fights. He's a big dude, but that's not something I'd want to see. Now, Cotto interests me. I think that's a solid fight. I think, and I think
he can win, honestly.
I was just gonna say,
depending on what Cotto have left.
I was just gonna say, with what I feel like Cotto has left at this point in his career, I think Kell Brook beats him, and that's coming from someone who I like Miguel Cotto a lot. He's been one of my favorite fighters for years. Yeah. No, but at the end of the day, he's still really. He was tiny at 160. He's still really small at 154. To me, he could still make it to 147. He's never really gotten bigger since
he just doesn't want to. I don't think he wants to.
Which is understandable. He's a little older. He didn't want to lose those extra 5 pounds or 4 pounds, whatever. I get it. But Kell Brook is still going to be bigger than him at 154. Let's make no mistake about it. He's going to be the bigger man in that fight. And his counter-punching style, I just feel like...
Brook is probably the same height. I think he's like the same height as Gennady. He's like 5'10", 5'11".
I want to say he's like 5'9" or 5'10". Yeah, he's got a little bit of height on him.
Gennadi's 5'10", right?
Gennady is 5'10". Yeah, I believe so. 5'10" or 5'11".
They're about the same height. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
thinking about it, but like you said, if he needs to be gauged. He definitely needs to
yeah.
fight. Like if you're gonna do that, fight like you said, like fight Billy Joe. Both of you guys are UK guys.
Yeah.
They make a lot of money over there
yeah.
at the stadium. You know what I mean? So it'll make Billy Joe versus Kell Brook and Wembley will make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do that, and then see where you're at, and then say let's go.
But even then though, I've never been a fan of jumping up 2 weight classes. You know, it's. I'd like him to go to 54 first, at least have a fight at 54.
I would too, but what if I don't know, I'm just considering weight because like with Khan, like I had no idea that he was, because he just came from 143 fights ago.
Yeah.
But Virgil Hunter was like, we might never see him at 147 again. He can't make it. So it's he essentially blew up, like, you know what I mean? He blew up like 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
Like overnight. Like, so I don't know if these guys don't have discipline anymore.
Yeah.
Steroids in their food. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either. That's an epidemic that me and you've talked about for a while. It seems to be a lot of fighters out that can't make weight anymore. And it's weird because even from, you look back to the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, these dudes, a lot of them weren't working out in between training camps. They just knew how to manage their weight better. And you would think now with sports science being as good as it is, and a lot of these guys have a nutritionist, how aren't you still making weight?
Exactly. You got nutritionists, you got trainers, you got everything allotted to you. It seems like you should have a science of how much you can eat in between when you're not, even if you're not going to gym, what you should and should eat, what you should and should do to manage yourself. But it's just like I'm looking at Bradley.
Yeah.
Like Bradley, dude, like I seen him. He was saying, I'm a middleweight right now.
I know. I remember that video.
I came from light heavyweight. And I was like, what?
Yeah,
I came from light heavyweight.
Dude, he blows up. Dude, he blows up in between fights. I think the only fighter off the top of my head that I can think of that blows up or that blew up more than he does in between fights was Ricky Hatton. Ricky would get up to like 190. He used to get man. And there were.
You would see Ricky Hatton looking like a bodyguard.
Dude, he looked like a Oompa Loompa, bro. He was only like 4'10". He's out here waddling in between fights. Hey,
like what did he do after the fight? Go eat a whole chicken?
Man,
like,
yeah,
really?
but the thing is though, I can't blame fighters for blowing up, a week or two after the fight. After it takes so much discipline to make weight. You're barely eating. And you remember, like we always make fun of Canelo in the build up to Floyd, where he was eating. Yeah. They gave him his food, and it was 1 piece of lettuce and a slice of tomato. And he looked so angry. He like looked up and ate it. And I was like, these dudes for the last like 3 weeks of their training camp are barely eating anything,
And they're working so hard.
Yeah, and combined with the cardio that they're doing and the strength training that they're doing, I get it. After that fight, win, lose, or draw, here, I'm going to Chick-fil-A, I'm going to McDonald's, I'm going everywhere. Because I get it. But, after that like 2 or 3 week... Yeah, after that 2 or 3 week window where you got that off your chest, like maybe run a little bit, stay, lose a little bit of that. I don't know. It just seems like it's a weird thing with fighters now that, I don't know, they're not making weight or they're moving up very quick too, I feel like. And it seems like, I get it when I see a guy like Terrence Crawford who's moving up fast because he weighs in at like 150, 152 on the night of the fight. He's not a 135-pounder,
He's not. He's a 147-pounder. Just looked at his height and his shoulders. He's a big. I think he's a natural 147 guy.
I agree, but that's one of the things that me and you've talked about for a while with the undisciplined in fighters, and then just certain fighters who never get it, like Chavez Jr. Not to throw shots here, but I'm
so disappointed. He lost a WBC title fight because of his sprained heel. I've never heard of having a sprained heel. How do you sprain your heel?
Yeah, I don't know, man. The thing and the immediate rumor that came.
Getting extra kisses in your shoes won't help for nothing. You're gonna miss this fight over that.
Yeah.
We all know he can't make weight.
And no, I was gonna say that was the immediate rumor was that he blew up to like 195, and his dad was really pissed at him because he called off the fight because he couldn't get down in weight. And what's funny is that before he got caught on that drug, I forget what the drug is called, but it but you basically can lose like 10 or 15 pounds overnight to make weight. And he was, it's an EPO, I believe it's called, is a technical term, but I forget what the exact pill is. He was taking those, and he got caught on it finally, and he obviously hasn't done it again, or otherwise he'd get banned for a very, very long time from fighting, and he just hasn't really been able to make weight since. That's how he was making 160 for years, is because he was doing that, and yeah, they just didn't. They caught him, and he hasn't been the same since.
Exactly. They took his magic away.
Yeah.
But you know what it is though? With a guy like Chavez Jr., he's a naturally big guy, and obviously likes to eat. He cannot afford. He can ill afford to not work out after and between fights.
Yeah.
He's a guy. At least 4 days a week, he needs to be in the gym when he's not fighting.
Or at least running. At least do cardio. You know, do something.
That's not me. Like,
yeah.
It's like it's in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Hitting the bags, just doing cardio.
Yeah.
So when he comes to fight, he has a 2-month training camp. He only has to lose 25 pounds.
Yeah.
If you got to lose freaking 45, 50 pounds in 2 months, either you're gonna hurt yourself or you're just not gonna make it.
Yeah, and that honestly, people who do that, we've seen their careers end bad. I mean, we talked about Ricky Hatton; he was blowing up. That was part of the reason why he lost so much steam towards the end of his career. Right. You know what I mean? He lost to Floyd. He was still in solid shape, and then he really, I mean, obviously, I think the Floyd loss did something to his confidence, but I'm also like the weight disparity that he was going up and down like that. That's never good. You know, you see that with Roy Jones, even though it wasn't an undisciplined thing. He moved up to heavyweight, then wanted to move back down to 175. When you go up and down like that, yeah, it's not good for you. You know.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was our show. It was fast, it was good, but you know what? We're going to continue giving more. For some, maybe longer than others. But as I explained to you in the beginning, we're going to tell you what we're going to do now. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be giving you, or we're going to be opening up and dusting off the scorecards. Those fights that you thought were robberies, those decisions that you just couldn't live with to the day, you still say, no, that guy lost. We're going to be dusting off the crates for that, breaking back open the video, discussing those fights, and we're going to rescore those fights, and we want to know what you think. Yeah, the great fights like Floyd Mayweather versus Castillo, Oscar De La Hoya versus Trinidad, those type of fights. Danny Garcia versus Mauricio Herrera, we're going to dust those fights off, rescore them, and talk about them. We want to know how y'all feel. Did those fights really win? Did they lose? Should it have been closer? We're going to break it open. That's what we're going to be giving you. We're here for you guys and fans. Every time that we come on here, we're going to be thinking about new ways to engage you and the rest also. So that's why I want you guys to get in the comments. Tell us what you think. Tell us if we should or shouldn't do this or how you feel about it. Like, share, subscribe, and always, we're outside the square circle. God bless.